to the podcast from Temperance Town, the sexiest podcast of world renowned. Tony grows a beard to hide his chin, swabs it with Earl so it glistens.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
Download the pod, you won't get enough of these dapper chaps talking deadly fluff. In Hobo Gulch they run a homeless mission, clanging and banging with the pentagram of kittens.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
They enjoy their whiskey and local craft beer. By Odin's unkempt pubis we give a cheer. Tony's a raccoon when he's booziest. Don't be a savage, be an enthusiast.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
On the frozen tundra they call it a lock. Tony likes to masturbate in a sock. Brian pisses rocks cause it feels so great. I still don't know who the fuck is Tate.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
The boys will let you know when there's a spurner. Due to male pattern baldness, they don't wear curlers. Stay salty, people, that's their closing line. And don't forget, have a beer, you'll be fine.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Salty
Hey enthusiasts, what's happening? This is Salty Language, episode 204.
The sexiest podcast still standing?
Well, we're
That doesn't sound very enthusiastic.
No, it sure didn't. Well, this isn't the enthusiast, so we don't have to be enthusiastic, right?
That's true.
All
That's
right.
true.
Good.
I lost my steam there.
Yeah, well, you've had a lot taken out of you this week.
It's been a whirlwind, my friend.
It sure looks like it's been. Oddly enough, this episode was going to be a hashtag More Brian episode since Tony was on vacation, but because of some other shenanigans that were afoot, we've actually been able to sit down and record. So,
Well, I'm off work tomorrow.
Excellent.
Which helps a lot.
Smart. Yeah. You don't want to go back to work ever, but too quickly.
It's true.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, yeah, it all worked out.
Yep. Cracking open.
Some weird fashion.
Yep. I like it. Real quick, I'll get my week out of the way because yours is going to take longer than mine. Is that part of the reason the shenanigans I referred to is that since we weren't going to record, or I was going to record by myself, and then I was like, maybe I won't. So I asked young Nickel from the Graphic Novice podcast if he'd like to jump on, thinking maybe I could talk a little funny books with him or something. And
is that the same Nickel with the adorable cheeks?
It must be. So I asked him, but circumstances wouldn't allow him to do such things. So there is proof, folks, that Nickel actually can and has said no to a podcast.
Oh, there you go.
That's the only reason I mention it. But, no worries.
I imagine it was probably Canadian murder cabin things.
It probably was. I mean,
yeah.
he made up other excuses, but I'm guessing that's what it was. So
yeah.
That's fine. No worries. And then I was going to record, and then I didn't feel like recording on Friday, so I just didn't. And then I'm like, I'll record Saturday. And then unholy hell unleashed on our area, and just water just dumped everywhere, and it was raining for like hours and hours and hours, and about 5 o'clock-ish, our power went out. So that was pretty awesome. And it got turned back on about 2:15. So
I actually have a story that has something to do with the unholy hell that unleashed in our area.
Ah, fun.
Yeah.
You want to do it now, or do you want to wait till...
Yeah, we'll Pulp Fiction this.
All right. Nice. Well, it's kind of what we do anyway,
It's true.
Yeah.
Because I had my whirlwind week.
Picture that the angle has also shifted here, because Tarantino always shifts the angle when he does these kind of things.
It's true.
All right.
I had my whirlwind week of driving around Lake Michigan, basically. And we got home last night.
Yeah.
And I got home and I noticed, I drove through a rain coming in.
Yeah.
I was like, this sucks. And I noticed all the farm fields around here were just like flooded.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And there's ditches overflowing into the roads. And I'm like, ugh, I'm going to have a wet basement.
Yeah.
Because when you get that much rain,
You generally,
the pressure just, comes up through some of the random cracks and shit. I'm like, I know I'm going to have a wet basement.
Right. And, that was my favorite thing about where I live now is we didn't have a wet basement.
Fair enough.
If it was where I lived, two places ago, I guess, but the house I used to live in was, anyway, go on.
So mind you, I just pulled in the driveway, dog tired from the road.
Yeah.
All I want to do is really just come in and unload the car, start laundry, and go to bed.
Right.
And I'm like, well, I told everyone, I'm like, all right, you guys start putting stuff away. I'm going to go check the basement.
Sure.
And I go downstairs. I hit the bottom stair, splash.
Ah.
2 inches of water.
Oh, I thought you meant there was a mermaid in your basement.
I wish.
And you were
That
Tom
sweet.
Hanks? No?
Hot.
That would be amazing. Okay, if we shoot this ever, if anyone ever puts this to some film at some point or what have you, it needs to be Tony goes into the basement, instantly becomes Tom Hanks and splash.
Right.
Okay.
Now, the only other time my basement was ever flooded like that was when we lost power because the sump pump can't do its thing.
Right, I know all about that.
Right?
Yep.
So we had power, so I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
I figured maybe the pump went awry while we were gone, something.
Yeah.
So I started doing my investigating, right? And what we have set up is we
now
have
I'm picturing you put a fedora on and got your big magnifying lens out, correct?
It's close to that. It was more like me and my sandals splashing around in cold water.
Which is fun, yeah.
But so I go check the one pump because we have the one sump.
Yeah.
That when it fills up, it pumps over to another well that leads outside to a drain.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And in that well is another pump that if the drain gets too full water, it'll pump water out into our yard just to get it the fuck out, basically.
Sure. Yeah. We actually, the house that I lived in, we actually had a second sump pump that we rigged for that purpose, actually.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So you know what I'm talking about.
Sure. Yep.
So my one sump pump, the main one, was running. I'm like, okay, so that's good.
Right.
I go over and I flip up the little hatch that covers the other hole.
Yeah.
And that pump is running. So I'm like, what the fuck? And I start tracing lines. The line that goes outside, it came unhooked from the line from the other hose.
So it's just
it was just pumping water into my basement.
awesome.
Which it must have not. I mean, we must have just caught it.
Which is good. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm glad. And we thought about staying out one more night and coming home today.
Yeah.
But we're like, let's just go home. Yeah. And I'm glad we did because who knows we would have came home to.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh
man, couches floating in the basement. And...
Dude, I mean, just there's brand new furnace down there and washer and dryer.
Right.
And
yeah, for sure.
Oh God.
Yep. Yeah, I feel you on that for sure.
I mean, so right now I got dehumidifiers going on there, fans blowing. I'm trying to dry it out as much as I can.
It looks like an 80s Whitesnake video in your basement.
Basically, and smells worse though.
Are you sure?
Probably.
Okay.
The only real damage that I can tell right now, besides probably the mildew that's going to happen down there and I'm going to have to go clean, which I can't wait.
Yeah, that'll be a blast.
Is my cat shit in the hallway because his litter box is down there.
Well, you can't. Yeah, and you can't blame him for that one. Yeah.
Well, that was this morning, so I think he went down yesterday and was like, "Oh my God, water!"
Yeah.
And he shit in the hallway this morning.
It would be kind of funny if you came in, went downstairs, and the cat was in the litter box, floating across the room.
That would have been kind of spectacular. Majestic, even.
Right. The cat just, paddles a little bit to get it over near the steps, jumps up on the steps, comes upstairs.
But
ties it up,
I mean, after I found and cleaned up his big, giant pile of shit in the hallway, I, picked him up and took him downstairs. So, look, and he kind of, freaked out for a second and then cautiously walked around and sniffed.
Right.
But I mean, that's how my vacation ended, was me getting cold feet by splashing around in my basement.
Well, I will say this. At least it wasn't sewer backup.
That's true.
And at least you didn't have electrical outlets low enough that you were getting shocks from it, were you?
Also, now they're all pretty high up for probably this reason.
Yeah, that happened to me the first time because I didn't even think about it. One of the first times we had water in the basement, I went down in there and And I was just like, wow, I keep feeling these zaps. And I was like, oh, shit, because then it hit me that the outlet over on the one wall was really low to the ground. And I'm like, I need to get out of this because
this is a problem.
This is a little dangerous, yeah. I need to go shut that breaker off. So, yeah. Yeah, it sounds like a good time, though.
Yeah, it's a good way to end it.
Yeah,
An awesome week.
Nice and relaxing, You're like, I'm back home. Just enjoy a couple days before work by cleaning up my fucking basement.
That's probably what's going to happen tomorrow. Once it starts drying, I'm probably going to have to go down there and assess the damage and figure out what needs to be thrown away.
Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably going to have to, combat the mildew a little bit.
What a nightmare.
Good times. Good times.
Good times.
Wow. Yeah, the us losing power here made me have a first world problem. Which was, I'm a night owl, but it's not as much fun to be a night owl when you have no electricity.
There's nothing to do.
Well, you also can't really see anything. If you're up through the day and the power's out, at least you have generally some sort of light from the sun or whatever.
Grab a book.
Yeah, at night. And don't get me wrong, I have those novel lights, those little LED lights, and I went to check my phone and I'm like, oh, my phone's at 60%. And I'm like, which isn't a big deal. I went through different apps, turned off notification, basically put my phone in airplane mode,
Right.
Excuse me, to conserve power because it was the only phone we have because the house phone is through, it's through the internet basically. So when the power goes out, you lose your phone too. And so my cell phone's the only phone that, we had. And I'm like, I better keep it just in case we need to call for help or whatever.
Pizza, something.
Sure, exactly. Yeah. No chance, man. The streets were flooded. But, I'm sitting here and I was like, and then I was like, you know what? It's like I have, an older iPad and a newer iPad mini. And I looked and I'm like, and then it hit me. I was like, oh, you know what? I have podcasts downloaded on the iPad. So, I just started, because I'm sitting here going, man, I can't even turn on some music because I don't have a radio. Because who has a radio anymore,
Right.
And so I grab, I do that. So I'm listening to some podcasts last night, and I was like, okay, I'm just playing some games where I don't have to be connected to the internet so that I can, not go out of my mind, basically. But I found really before I thought about that stuff, that I'm sitting here in the dark, and my anxiety is just, going through the freaking roof. And it's so weird. It's been so long now since I've had to deal with a flooded basement or the concept of maybe the basement's flooding. I still get super anxious when the power goes out like that.
Right.
And it's not because it's dark. It's like, whatever. I can deal with that. It's that, oh, shit, the basement's flooded. I got to get down there. I got to, and it's like, no, dude, you haven't had to deal with that for I don't know. How long's that been? 10 years? 12 years?
Long time.
Longer than that. Yeah, I was working at Family Video at the time. So it's been at least 12 years ago that I've had to deal with it, but I still get that tick from it,
Right, yeah.
But yeah, it was that first world problem of the, oh, poor Brian, he doesn't have Wi-Fi, and, because it was, almost everything you go to do, on the iPad. I don't have, I don't have mine tied to, my cell data plan or anything.
Right.
So they're just Wi-Fi only, and it's like, well, the Wi-Fi is clearly out. No one around here has Wi-Fi.
Right, for sure.
Yeah. And the neighbors called the power company, and this was last night at 9 o'clock or so. And they're like, yeah, we'll have them on before 6:30 tomorrow night. And we're like, all right, that means probably most of the food in the fridge is going to go in the trash. Because we can't keep it cold, the stuff in the freezer. If we can get out of here, we can go get some ice and throw it in coolers. And the stuff in the fridge though is probably going to be garbage by then. Because you should only keep stuff. Was it 4 hours or something like that?
It depends on how much of a risk taker you are.
Very true, sir. Very true. But yeah, it was. It turned out though, when none of us really got into the fridge. When I opened the fridge last night, everything was super cold in there still.
It's one of those things. I think if you leave it closed, it hangs on to that cold pretty good.
Yeah. So it was we threw a couple, milk and stuff like that. We went ahead and just got rid of that because didn't want to take that chance. But other than
right.
That, so yeah. So that was my fun experience. Although it wasn't. it wasn't as bad as it could have been. You know what I mean? Because, all growing up, anytime the power went out, I went through what you just went through.
Right.
At least what you went through, generally, usually worse. Because usually we had to, there were times where we were, scooping water with buckets, running it across the basement into a bathroom down there, dumping it into the bathtub to try to keep water from raising all over. And you can't win that fight, but we were trying,
Doing whatever you can do.
You basically did it until your back gave out, because and then it's like, I can't carry any more jugs of water across this room.
Right. Fuck it. This stuff's all garbage.
I know, right? Like, now if I was doing it, I'd have somebody hit, with the phone, videoing me, and I'd be, sending it to people as my extreme workout or whatever.
Nice.
Fuck yo kettlebells. I'm lugging water jugs across a basement. Back
the
and
water
forth,
basement
baby.
scramble.
Yeah. Oh.
Workout.
It was. If I had to do that more than one day, I'm sure I would have gotten some mad gains from it across time, but...
Well, you gotta make sure your protein intake's high.
That was the problem. Otherwise I would have had mad gains. I forgot the
That's
protein,
true.
and it all just went to fat.
Protein and, you gotta get that creatine.
Naturally. like, hey, Brian, I need you to... This is my dad, hey, I need you to help me lug water across the basement. Be like, hold on. I'm shaking up my protein
You get a shaker cup.
Yeah, because obviously you can't use a blender, so, Sugar.
Like, I got this, bro.
Yeah. Do that, tear my shirt off like Hulk Hogan. Let's do this! Run back and forth like a maniac.
Ultimate Warrior style.
Right. Puke on the floor a few times. Well, puke in your bucket, dump it in the tub, run back.
Well, naturally.
Enough of that. So, what else you want to talk about for the week? Because that's basically my week. Nothing really happened other than that.
Oh, man. Let me tell you. Northern Michigan rules, Brian. Northern Michigan rules.
Yeah, we're definitely...
We had 7 days of awesomeness with the family.
Yeah.
And I got to say, it's one of those things, we came home and
you guys were gone for 10, though. No, I'm kidding.
No, by the time we came home, we all felt tighter as a core group, which was awesome.
Right.
I guess if you spend that much time in a car together, you'll have that.
Lots of Kegling, gotcha.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing but it.
Yeah, that's an odd vacation with the family.
It's a creepy one, but whatever.
Right.
No, we, when we started the first day, we just went to the cottage for overnight because it's like a midway point between here and Chicago.
Right. Yeah.
So, that was whatever. Hung out with my parents. That was fun. It always is. But then, early next morning, we got up and boom, hit the road and hit good old Chi-Town.
Right.
The Windy City, Second City, City of the Broad Shoulders.
Right, the Little Apple, gotcha.
The Little Apple, exactly. Whatever.
The Windy Tomato, right.
And I love that city. It's my first time my kids have been into a big city, too. So they're kind of blown away by the size of it.
Yeah. It is. It's pretty overwhelming to go to Toledo's not like the smallest of cities, and we've been to Detroit and what have you. But Chicago's a whole different beast from
when you go
Detroit
to a real city.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they were blown away, and we only spent not even 24 hours there. We basically stayed the night and stayed late the next day.
Yeah.
Not even that late, now that I think about it. But we had a blast. I mean, it's like Leah spent her entire savings on a doll.
A real
which
doll? No.
blows my mind.
It's like a, animatronic thing.
It's an American Girl doll that she's wanted forever, and we're going to Chicago to have a store. If you really want one, you can get it.
Did you get one too?
No, I did not.
Didn't have enough money?
It still kind of makes me ill how much money she spent. Do you want to guess how much her American Girl doll with a little tiny dog, like plush dog, cost?
I have no concept of price on those.
Just throw out a number.
$100.
Wrong.
Low?
Higher.
Oh my God. 200.
Yes.
Holy shnikes.
Yeah, and she was dead set on getting it, and I tried to talk her out.
Sure. Well, yeah.
But it was her money,
right? Because you're like, how many other dolls you could buy with $200?
I know.
Like you could buy like $20.
You're like 10. How long are you really going to want a doll?
Well,
she wanted it.
You still play with them, so I mean, it's fine.
Well, what I do on my time, my business.
Right. Like you leave my tea parties out of this, you son of a bitch. Yeah.
Yeah. 200. Well, it was just under 200.
Still,
but
though,
I mean, still.
Whew, yeah.
Right.
But it's funny because there's a lesson in there as well because if she wants anything from this point forward, you can kind of be like, hey, you spent all that money on the doll.
Yeah, basically. Well, the only thing I can say,
but whatever,
is she's always been like really flippant about objects and items. I think this she'll actually care for because it's her money that went into it.
Well, and that's kind of what it means. There's a good lesson in that because, like when I grew up, I used to, we used to do flea markets and stuff, and I sold like sports cards, and I took money from that and bought, different, like my Super Nintendo and stuff like from that point forward, I bought almost all of my game systems, so you learn real quick, like, what it took to make that money, basically.
Right.
So I was like, I wasn't hard on the controllers, and I wasn't breaking things. And if somebody else was, I was like, hey, like,
easy over there, buddy. Easy.
It's like somebody just taking your paycheck and ripping it in half in front of you,
Right.
Like, yeah.
But yeah, so we did that. We went on to Navy Pier, which is awesome.
It is, yeah. I've been there. Yep.
Although it was packed.
Oh, for sure.
Of course.
Yeah, it's nice, and it's the right time of year.
But right in the middle of Navy Pier.
When I went, it was April. There weren't that many people because it was cold and windy.
Dude, it was so busy. It was it was the kind of busy that I was starting to get nutty.
Yeah, okay.
And normally I'm okay with crowds, but there was just so many people.
Yeah.
But it was we went and there was like, oh shit, they got an IMAX theater here and they're showing Jurassic World.
Right.
And the showing they were just doing a sold out. So like, well, when's the next one? 7:00. It was like 4. We bought tickets for it because kids have never been to an IMAX movie.
Right. I haven't either. So, yeah.
Oh, it's awesome.
I've been to an IMAX theater because they have one at Cedar Point, or had one. I don't know if it still is. But I don't know if they still do.
But
when
honestly.
I was there, they were showing like nature documentaries.
Yeah, like flying through the canyons or whatever.
And I sat and watched it only because it was air conditioned, and it was like 100 degrees that day.
Right.
So I was like, this will be a nice break.
But it was one of them things where like, let's take the kid. Both the kids were like, yeah, we want to see this movie. So I was like, all right. So we got the tickets, then we just had to kill time.
Yeah.
So we just hung out on the pier, basically.
Right.
And I wanted to just murder everybody by the time the movie was ready to start.
Now I'm just picturing this as from I don't know if in 5 because I haven't played it enough, but in like Grand Theft Auto 4, there's that pier with all the stuff, and it's like, you go at first, there's bowling you can do out there and all that, and it looks like, oh, it's a good time pier, and then after a few minutes, it's like, how many people on this pier can I run over with a car?
That's basically it.
Yeah.
Because it was one of those things, I'm like, well, let's see, let's go do this. And then it was like, oh my God, it's that much to ride the Ferris wheel?
Yeah.
Fuck that.
I didn't go on the Ferris wheel. I don't even think I got near it that day because, like I said, it was cold and rainy and meh.
Everything was just like, let's just, and we just ended up, they've got like a beer garden there, so we got some food, and we didn't get any beers because it was like, oh, here's a $6 Bud Light. Hey, go fuck yourself.
Right, yeah. That wasn't even an option when I was there because I wasn't old enough to drink. I was like, like 18, so yeah.
Well, we finally got in the movie. The movie was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a great, I mean, they really redeemed the shitty sequels from Jurassic Park.
Man.
And in IMAX 3D, it was really great.
Oh, I imagine, yeah. I can imagine.
I had more fun probably watching Leah jump.
Oh, sure, yeah. Between that and, you watching the dreamy Chris Pratt run around the screen.
Well, he is dreamy.
Wrangling raptors and such.
But it was it was a good movie. I very much enjoyed it.
Excellent.
And then we got a movie.
Wait, hold on.
What's up?
You just talked about a movie, sir. I need to know how many Channing Tatums it gets.
Oh, was ours is a 5 Channing scale, right?
I believe so, yeah.
I would give it a 4.5. I really enjoyed it.
Fair enough. All right.
Yeah.
Now you can proceed.
So we exit the movie, and it's dark. And the pier was like empty, and the city's all lit up. It was awesome.
Oh yeah, because you guys posted pictures of that. At that
Dude,
point,
I took so many pictures.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, that's a really cool. Area, like when it's all lit up and stuff.
Yeah, it was cool.
That was what blew our mind, like when we were first there, because we were like on our way back from some restaurant or something the first night, and then we went by there and I saw it and I was like, that is so amazing. And at the time, no cell phones, I didn't have a camera on me, so no pictures. So
well, that's how I blew Logan's mind. I'm like, all right, Logan, see over there to the left, all those buildings are lit up. He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, now look all the way to the right, as far as you can see. See all those buildings lit up? He's like, yeah. I'm like, that's Chicago.
Yeah.
He's like, what?
Yeah. Yep. It's amazing. It's.
We had a nice walk back to the hotel. We walked along the lake, and there was just people out walking. It was nice. It was awesome.
Right. Did you guys? Were you staying in like the touristy area, or were you off?
Yeah, we were like a couple blocks off the Magnificent Mile there.
Okay.
We had a really nice hotel.
Yeah.
The place we liked to stay at was there's the Tremont. We like staying there. Ditka's is in the lobby. You know, it's pretty affordable. It's an old hotel. It's cool. We were like, hey, we need a room for 4 people. And they're like, yeah, you need 2 rooms. We don't have any rooms for 4 people.
You're like, no, really, they're kids. They'll sleep in the bathtub.
Basically, now. So we had to book somewhere else, but it wasn't that far. It was awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah, it worked out good.
Well, at least you don't have a terrible hotel story to come back with.
No, the hotel was awesome.
At least you didn't almost die in the hotel room.
No, it was a great hotel. It was great.
Right.
The beds were great. The whole thing was great. Actually, it was a steady decline after we left Chicago.
Well, yeah. I can honestly see where that would make sense, though, because, Chicago is this city. It's way up on the scale. And then, not that the other cities are bad. They're just nowhere near as big, So,
right.
And they're not going to have as many. Well, they'll have a lot of tourists in some of them, but, yeah.
But I was supposed to meet up from Clint from Geek Dig the next day. We were supposed to meet him for lunch because he kind of lives in the suburbs.
Sure, yep.
But I guess he was having PC issues. He never got my message. By the time he got back to me, we were already heading north.
Oh, yeah.
And we had such a haul.
Yeah.
We had to leave early. We pretty much ate breakfast and left.
Yeah.
Although we did eat at this place called, Logan needed to go there because they have Wonuts.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And they're waffle donuts,
Right.
And it's all he talked about the day before was Wonuts. So we're like, fine, we'll go to the fucking waffle place.
Right.
And the food is actually pretty good. I got an egg sandwich on waffles. It was delicious.
Well, that's a good way to deliver eggs.
Yeah, that's what I was like, wow, when we do waffles at home, this is what I should do.
For sure, yeah.
Because normally I do the syrup and butter and all the sugar jacks me up. But that was perfect.
You're supposed to use whiskey, remember?
Good point. Whiskey syrup.
Yeah.
The maple stuff.
Right, naturally, because you want to find.
But from Chicago, we headed north to Marquette, which if you don't know where that is, it's in the northern part of the Upper Peninsula.
Yeah.
So we went through all Wisconsin into the Upper Peninsula. That was the worst drive I've had in a long time. It was like an 8-hour drive.
Oh, geez, yeah.
Through the rain, it was brutal.
Yeah.
I mean, but halfway in Wisconsin, we stopped at I think it was like, God, what the fuck is it called? I think it was called. It wasn't Sweetwater because that's out of Georgia. It was some water. I don't know. It's a brewery, of course. Weird.
Something water.
Yeah, I don't know. If I could look at my Untapped and find it.
We'll call it cheese water since it was in Wisconsin.
Okay, Cheesewater Brewery. And whenever Jeannie and I go out, our thing is we'll get a flight and we split it.
Right.
And if I'm driving, I'll pretty much be done. She'll probably have something else.
Yeah.
But so we got to try all their beers. Delicious. I got a bacon salad. It was awesome.
Right. I gotta say, I was a little disappointed because when the caption said bacon salad, I just pictured crisp leaves of bacon just folded over each other with toppings on top of it.
Oh, dude, it was so good. It was like spinach and bacon and chicken and cheese and then like a hot bacon dressing.
Oh, nice.
It was so good. I'm like, I should eat vegetables. I'll have the bacon salad.
Hot bacon dressing sounds like something that should come out of your shower.
I agree. Right?
Like, I'm going to go have a hot bacon dressing shower.
We're driving north, right? And the kids, I pissed them off this whole trip because I'm a sucker for pictures.
Uh-huh.
And anytime there would be like scenic turnabout ahead and I'd look at it, I'd be like, pull over and take a picture.
Right.
Yeah. But so the first time we get to Lake Superior,
like
finally,
world's oldest sign, next right. Woo!
Yeah, basically. But the first time we got to see Lake Superior,
yeah,
I'm like, we got to get a picture of Lake Superior.
Right.
So there's this little picnic area, and we turn over, and it's like in the woods, kind of.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, guys, let's get out and take a picture. And fucking Leah opens the door, and she just and the door's to the car's wide open, and she's like, hey guys, there's mosquitoes out here. And I look out my window, and there's a cloud against my window. And she just got the door open, and she's in front of the car waiting for us. They're all swarming in the car.
Oh, man, so you're like, great, now I'm going to have another Jeep moment where I'm beating the hell out of the windows.
That's pretty much. Yeah. I honk my horn. I'm waving for her to get in the car.
Right.
And I'm like, all right, we're killing mosquitoes. And I'm like, all right, guys.
I wish people could see the video of this.
Yeah, I know, really, me making all these arm motions.
This is pretty good.
And I'm like, all right, guys, I'm going to take my shoes off, and I'm going to run to the lake, and I'm going to take a picture, and I'm going to run back.
See, when you said you'd taken your shoes off, I thought you were going to use them as a weapon against the mosquitoes. I was like, beating someone with a shoe is one thing, but...
I mean, I'm not shitting you. There was probably 20 of them on my window trying to get in.
Nice.
It was insane.
Nice.
But it was an awesome picture.
Right. Of the mosquitoes or the... No. It'd be funny. You pull up, you're about to get out, you see all the mosquitoes, and you're like, fuck this. You just take a picture out the window, so it's just mostly mosquitoes.
I should have taken a picture of my window, because it was insane.
Yeah, just mostly mosquitoes with the nice back setting of the lake,
Just the thing that was like the highlight of the vacation was Leah. Hey, guys, there's mosquitoes out here. And they're all swarming through the door.
Oh, man. Like, next time when you get out, close the door.
Yeah, close the damn door.
Just in case. Oh, man.
But we finally made it to Marquette, and we stayed at Ramada, which was garbage.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not what they used to be. Yeah.
Well, it sucked because, there's a pool there. And we're like, hey, we'll stay. They have rooms that go around the pool.
Yeah.
We're like, well, this will be awesome. We'll let the kids swim. We'll just sleep or whatever. But there was a pool party going on. And those doors aren't exactly soundproof.
Right.
Yeah, so that kind of sucked. But Marquette, dude, that city is badass.
Yeah,
it's just like a small little town right on Lake Superior.
Yeah, I know of it. I think I was there when I was like really little for something with my parents, and
it's a cool city. It's all like crazy and hilly, and it's right on the lake. They get you probably saw the picture of that Ordock.
Oh yeah,
this monstrous metal. I was like, it's thing's huge.
Yeah, for those of you who have no idea what he's talking about, you should go follow Tony on the Instagrams.
Yeah, look at my Instagram. I have a whole stream of crazy pics. That Ordock is crazy. I had to take a picture of that.
You should tell him your username on Instagram.
Oh, it's the Monotony on Instagram.
There you go. Because it's a. It's an interesting building for
sure.
Yeah,
like I said, my caption was, it looks like it was built in Mordor.
Yeah, it really
does. Because it does. I mean, orcs should be deploying out of the thing.
They probably do a lot of Viking funerals out of there, I'm guessing.
I hope so.
If so, I'm calling them up tomorrow.
But we got there on Monday, right? Now, Marquette's a tourist town because it's right on the lake.
Yep.
So we get there Monday, we're like, this is going to be awesome. They got 2 breweries we want to go to. They actually have like 4 breweries, I think, in the city we didn't even know about.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We're like, we're going to go to these 2 breweries because, one of them has a beer I want to try that I've never had because they didn't have it at the one festival they were at.
Oh, okay.
And rub my hands together, and because it's Monday, both places are closed because tourists are gone. It's like, motherfucker.
Weak sauce.
I mean, we found a great little restaurant to eat at, and we sat on the patio, and it fucking poured. But then it was done pouring with a double rainbow, which was pretty cool, over the lake.
Double rainbow? Yeah.
Yeah, I know, exactly. But I was so disappointed these breweries were closed.
Well, I guess you just know for next time if you're.
Yeah, well, we're going again because that's where the other fall beer fest is at, is Marquette.
Oh, okay.
So we're going back this year because we're doing a Grand Slam this year. We're hitting all the beer fests.
I love calling it a Grand Slam. That's how it is. You hit all 4. Hopefully,
but, I mean, Marquette was great. Loved it. Yeah. I will definitely go back. So we left Marquette. And then back through the UP.
Which is just a lot of outback.
It's just forest.
Yeah.
It blows me away. It's beautiful up there. Yeah. It really is.
But it really is, like, yeah.
It's just forest, which is mind-blowing to me.
Yep.
So we going through the UP, and we're trying to figure out where to eat. And let me see here. Okay. Oh, no. Let me rewind. We're leaving Marquette. And we're, once again, scenic looks.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, guys, let's get a picture by Lake Superior again.
Like we already did. Like we already did. Remember the mosquitoes?
Right. This is a different one. It was so windy and cold.
Yeah.
And we get out, and Leah and Jeannie got to the top of the thing because there were stairs that led down this big hill to the beach.
Right.
And they're like, it's too cold, and they went back in the car. I mean, it was cold.
Yeah.
But Logan and I are like, all right. And then Logan's like, I think I want to feel how the lake feels. I'm like, all right. So we both took our sandals off. We put our feet in the lake. It was freezing.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Right. So then he gets his shoes back on, and he's standing by the edge. I'm like, all right, well, let me get a picture of you in front of the lake. And he's just kind of standing there, and I take a picture, and I'm like, show, present it. So he puts his arms out like he's like Vanna White.
Right.
Right. And I snapped a picture, and this picture's great because in the background, you see this wave in the background of this picture. And just after I snapped the picture, the wave crashed and went over his feet and his ankles. He's just like, oh! And I got this great picture of him in pain, of cold.
Right.
It's the best thing ever.
Yep. You're like, these are the kind of moments that make my trip.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So we pile back in the car and we keep driving toward, trying to get out of UP. And have you ever seen the pictured rocks, like pictures of them or anything?
The what?
Pictured rocks. They're like it's on Lake Superior, and it was like 20 minutes off our path.
Okay.
And it's a state park, so we're going to Picture Rocks, and it's just these cliffs that the Lake Superior is just carved away.
Oh, okay.
And it's fucking awesome. It's so cool.
Like there's just a bunch of people there dumping bodies, and
they probably could. I mean, it's crazy. It's just like it looks like cliffs you'd see in like Arizona.
Oh, okay, right.
Like those kind of like the color schemes and all that.
Yeah.
But it's on the lake, It's crazy. So we had to go there because pictures.
Right. Right.
We decided we're going back there again because they do like canoe trips and stuff along the lake shore. And
okay, right. Oh, yeah, that's right. Was it you or Jeannie, I think? Is that one of you guys posted a picture about maybe going kayaking or something?
Yeah, that was me because they do kayak tours.
Okay,
and like there's actually caves you can kayak into and stuff.
That's
pretty cool.
That's a terrible idea.
Oh, it's so cool. But so we're finally, we're getting close to, the Mackinac Island, the bridge.
Yeah.
Right? And we were like, we got to eat some food. And everything we passed through was just these little podunk towns with nothing going on.
Right. Yeah.
Everyone's starving.
There's a lot of that in Michigan.
There's so much of that.
Yeah. I should say the Midwest, actually.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that. Yeah.
Well, up there, it's just like, it's nothing but trees.
Yeah.
And then there's like a clearing, and there'll be like some random house that looks like it's burnt out.
Yeah.
And there might be someone living there. And then it's just trees. It's insane.
You drive by that house too slow, you hear rifle shots. Like, get!
Dude, when we were going to Picture Rocks, I had to turn on some of his dude's driveway because I made it wrong. I missed my turn.
Yeah.
And we're in his driveway, and I'm waiting for a truck to pass. And the dude, I see the door open, and this dog comes flying out of the house.
Wow.
It's like, really?
It's like,
I'm not here to murder you.
Like, we're in the car. The dog isn't going to be able to do much.
Yeah, it's true. I will run his ass over.
Yeah, it's like, and then I'll just come knock your rickety dump over and leave.
Exactly. I'll pull that pebble out, and your whole place will crumble.
Yeah. I see that bar coaster as a load-bearing bar coaster.
A load-bearing bar coaster. But we find a spot to eat. It's like 5 minutes from. Well, thanks to Jeannie and Yelp, we found this place called Timothy's.
Naturally, it's got to have two names. South of the North. South of the North.
Dude, all I can say, gravy fries. They call them Uber fries, like UP,
Right.
Oh my God, gravy fries are the shit.
Okay,
that's all I want to eat now.
So they aren't like. Whoa, sorry about that. They aren't like poutine or anything, right?
That's exactly what they are. They just call them Uber fries.
Oh, I see. It's kind of like
just the fries, gravy, cheese, dude.
So it's like freedom fries instead of French fries, right?
Oh my God, they were so good. It's the first time the kids have had them, and they were like really good there.
Yeah.
And everyone, oof. And dude, you know what they had at this place? Not only did they have a sit down bar Pac-Man table that also had Galga on it.
Nice, I remember those.
Strong.
Yeah, very. Yeah. I need one of those. I'm disappointed you didn't bring it back for me.
I took a picture of it.
Of course you did. Like, all right, children's gal around.
This is an artifact, kids. Well, when Leah went to the bathroom, because it was on the way back, she was like, "Oh my God, they have a Pac-Man table!" She was blown away by the thought of it.
Right. I remember those, man. They used to have a lot of games like that at bars and stuff. You know, the real popular type games.
Well, yeah, they got the big plastic sheet on it, so if you spill a drink, nothing happens.
No big deal, yep.
Yeah, the controls under the lip of the table.
Yep. I remember.
Badass.
They were, yep. Man, I played a lot of Galaga on those, too. I'm not going to
lie. Hell yeah. When I saw Pac-Man and Galaga, I was like, this thing is badass.
Yeah, you know me and Galaga. If I see it, I'm like, man, I got to at least get in a little bit here.
If I had some quarters, I wish.
You just pistol whip the bartender and open the cash register.
I don't know. She probably could have taken me. She looked pretty brawny.
Probably.
Probably wrestles like Wolverine or something.
Well, she knew you were coming because her grandpappy's dog told her, he's like, hey, I chased this asshole out of the driveway.
That's right. Send smoke signals and stuff.
Because everyone's related is the joke I'm making.
Exactly. But because weird giant road trip, I had to make a visit to the old men's stall.
Wait, huh?
And in the stall, in a frame, mind you.
Nice.
In the stall, in a frame, was just facts about Uranus. And it was just all planetary facts.
Oh, I'm very disappointed that they're
which
not
kind
all...
of made me laugh.
I wish they were all rectal facts instead. Like, facts about Uranus. Like, huh.
Like, oh, really? I didn't know that.
Fascinating. I wish they would have put the coat hook off to the right so I could read this while I'm sitting here.
Yeah, right? But we left there. We going across the Mackinac Bridge. It's the first time I've ever been across the bridge.
Yeah, I don't
Pretty
think I've
cool.
ever been across that bridge.
I mean, I know a lot of people get freaked out by driving across bridges. Doesn't bother me.
Eh.
It's a big ass bridge. It's cool. Great view.
Yep.
Whatever.
You stopped in the middle, took some pictures.
If I could.
Held up all the traffic. Like, hold on.
Like, easy. My four ways are on. I
I
have my iPhone. You see
I
this?
just want some pictures. Can everyone get out of their cars and go stand by the bridge?
Actually, you come here. Take a picture of my family for
Right.
me. He just throws my phone in the water.
Kicks you in the nuts. Runs your car a little off to the side.
But you know how I said we were steadily going downhill from like places we stayed?
Right.
Right.
This time you stayed with some raccoons.
we went from this awesome, like 15 stories high, super comfortable bed room in Chicago,
Yeah.
to the Ramada outside of a pool.
Right.
To a campsite.
Now, when you say campsite, you mean you just pulled the van up and basically you rent a small spot kind of campsite, or we're not talking a cabin,
It was a
right?
tiny one-room cabin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah. So it wasn't, because I'm picturing you just pull the van up, and I'm like, did you guys just sleep in the seats?
Not that kind of camp. Although there were so many places I passed in the Upper Peninsula that just said, camping permitted.
Yeah.
There's nothing to pay. You just pull over and camp.
Yep.
That blew my mind.
In small print, it says like coyote danger or something, or watch out for bears or something.
Watch for bears.
Yeah. It's like, wait a minute. I don't know if I like what's going on here.
But so we get to, and don't get me wrong, the campground is actually an awesome campground, and we're probably going to go back.
Yeah.
Because they have like mini golf and a pool, and it's right on the lake. Like it's on Michigan, and it's on Huron. You can go to both lakes.
Oh, okay.
It's crazy,
Nice.
right?
That's a lot of pictures.
Yeah, you got that right.
Kids are like, Dad, we want to play mini golf. Be like, after the pictures.
Like, hold on, I'm taking pictures.
Right. It's like,
And it's like 5 minutes outside of Mackinac City, which to stay in Mackinac City or even on Mackinac Island is crazy expensive.
Oh, for sure. It's like going to Put in Bay, basically. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
This for a one-room cabin was like $40 a night.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, we got to try it. And someone from Jeannie's work recommended it. It was actually an awesome campground. Like I said, we're probably going back.
Right.
But, dude, have you ever been to Mackinac Island?
I have. No, I don't think I have.
It's pretty cool. I mean, Mackinac City was cool. I like coast towns like that.
Yeah.
Mackinac Island, I mean, it's like a bucket list thing for Jeannie. She's always wanted to go because of Somewhere in Time, the movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's like for some, like half the people that you know in this area probably like blah blah Mackinac Island. Oh yeah, I've been there. It's kind of like I said, similar to Put in Bay in that it seems like everybody's gone there at least once.
Yeah.
Whereas Put in Bay, the first time I'd ever been there was when we went.
Drink ourselves silly.
Yeah, that was the first time I'd ever been there. So I was like, all right.
Well, I mean, you have to obviously you have to catch a ferry. I remember the ferry to Put in Bay was like what, like $5, $10? I don't remember.
Right. Yeah, it was something like that. It's $5 or $7. It was something like that. Yeah.
For the family, we got discount tickets, and Leah was even more discounted. Round trip was like $65.
Yikes! All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That's what we're talking here.
Yeah.
So, which I know for a lot of people.
Is it a longer trip? Out of curiosity.
It's like we basically took like the Jet Express up there,
right?
And it was like I think a 20-minute ride.
So it's not that different.
It's not that long. I mean, it's a good distance, but it's just because Mackinac is just Mackinac,
right?
Yep. But it's so crazy because you get there and there's no vehicles allowed. It's all bikes, walking, or horses.
So you got horses.
I wish you could actually rent horses.
Oh, I'm
and ride,
sure you can. Yeah,
which is crazy.
That seems like a terrible idea.
But it's like bizarre when we're walking on the street and there's like a guy delivering beer and all the beer is loaded on a horse cart.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That is weird. Like, why don't they have golf carts there, like Put-in-Bay does?
It's just not allowed.
That's so weird.
It's horses and bikes. That's what's allowed.
Maybe they don't allow the carts and stuff because they scare the horses or something.
I don't know.
Because it's not like you're pulling a beer cart with a golf cart, you know?
Right.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's crazy to watch some big giant like beer guy, and he's like, whoa, whoa, and he's clopping up the road. He's just got a bunch of beer behind him.
Nice.
It's bizarre.
All right. So naturally, you're sitting there going, "How can I get that beer?" No.
Well, dude, we got off the ferry and we're walking up the pier into Mackinac Island, and on the dock just to the right of us was like 4 Founders kegs.
Nice.
And I'm like, I don't know what's in there, but I want it. Anything that Founders makes, I'm a fan of.
It wasn't really. They were just Founders kegs. It was actually sewer runoff in there.
That's fine. I would have just kept the keg.
Like, this isn't one of their better beers.
Yeah, a little gamey.
Little, I don't know. Yeah.
But I mean, that's another place that we want to go back. We've talked to some people before. Like, there's a bartender in Delta we were talking to probably a year ago. He used to bartend on Mackinac Island. He said the best thing to do is to stay on Mackinac Island, and then you go out and party once all the ferries leave.
Okay.
You know? Because the people that aren't staying get the fuck off the island. And then it's just like, it's a bunch of pubs in a row.
Oh, okay. Right.
Pretty much.
Yeah. We ran into that the one night when we were out at Put-in-Bay. It was interesting how, as it gets later, a certain point, it's the same idea. There's a lot of people that are GTFO because they're, you know. They
got to get back to the mainland because they're not staying.
Exactly. So there were a few of the places we visited that cleared out a decent, and like the real popular places that we went to didn't, but some of the other. It's hard to call any bar in their whole, but you know what I mean. Like a few of them, we so a few of them just aren't quite the, some of them look like they're the ones that like Frat Magazine says is the best place to drink on Put-in-Bay or whatever.
Right, exactly.
Frat Magazine.
But so we didn't obviously stay on Mackinac Island. We spent about half a day there. Because we were so unprepared for Mackinac.
Yeah.
Because we showed up to the campground. We had linens because they don't provide linens.
Okay.
They just have mattresses.
Right.
We had linens. That was it.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't have any sort of camping stuff.
Oh, right.
We had to go buy food because we didn't have food.
Sure, yeah.
And didn't have room for a cooler, so.
Yeah.
It didn't have beach towels, so the kids are just air drying by the fire.
Right.
I mean, so unprepared to camp.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
And then even more so for Mackinac, because you get there and you're like, fuck, we need bikes.
Yeah.
Because the island's decent sized, and to rent bikes, it's crazy expensive.
Of course,
Well, it's actually not that expensive, but at the time, like in this part of our vacation, due to security deposits that still hadn't cleared and stuff, money was starting to get tight.
Sure, yeah.
And, we're waiting for the next payday to hit, or these security deposits to free up.
Right.
From hotels and whatever else.
Sure, yeah.
So they're like, well, we already decided we're going to come back. We're going to bring bikes because you can, it's a small charge to put the bike on the ferry.
Yeah.
But it is really cool up there. I mean, we went to the Grand Hotel, which is where Jeannie wants to stay.
Yeah.
Like, that's another bucket list thing, which, if you don't know, the Grand Hotel is this monster fucking hotel up there.
Yeah.
And you can't even get on the grounds. You can get close enough to take a picture, but if you try to get into the grounds, they go, do you stay here? And you say no, they shush you off. Right. And it's no joke, in prime season, it's $1,000 a night to stay there.
Oh my God. Wow.
Right. And you're not even allowed in the building unless you're wearing formal attire.
Wow.
Right?
Holy shnikes, dude.
It's but it's something she wants to do, so whatever.
Yeah, sure.
But the things you do for people you love.
Yeah, why not, right? Yeah, it's not like you're going up there going, let's stay, 7 days in this place or something.
Right.
It's like,
she just wants to do it for like a weekend.
Yeah.
And if and I've read some stuff off season, you can get it pretty discounted.
Right.
So it's I'm doing what we can do.
Yeah.
But good Lord.
Yeah, right. Oh man.
Oof.
Just tell her to start saving all her allowance money. Leah got her doll this year. And...
Like roll that American Girl fund into the Grand Hotel fund.
Yep. Sorry, kids. No money for anything because Mom has to stay at a pompous hotel.
Now eat your canned corn.
No, you won't be staying with us, but eat your canned corn. Nice. Delicious.
Canned corn.
I used to eat canned carrots. I used to just crack open a can of them just with a spoon and just start eating them.
Yeah, you'll have that, right?
Yeah. So.
Mackinac Island is cool, though. It was cool. But yeah, we're definitely going back to that. Well, hey, let me get back. Also, when we're at Mackinac in the city, right 5 minutes from where we stayed, was one of those international dark parks.
Oh yeah, I know. It's man, I want to go
Which
to
is
one of those.
awesome.
Yeah. That's a bucket list kind of thing for me. Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah.
Right? So we went. Here's the problem, Brian. The time we went, 2 days after the summer solstice.
Right. Almost longest day of the year.
Almost.
Almost, yep.
It was, I mean, because where do you go? You drive into this, you just drive into this park. It's this windy road.
Yeah.
I get how it's a dark park. Because you can actually, there's two, cottages you can rent in the dark park.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, how the hell do they pull that off when it's still a dark park?
Yeah, right.
The trees are so thick.
Oh, okay.
It blocks everything.
Right. I can't imagine. Those cabins got to be crazy expensive, right?
I kind of want to look into them, but I don't know.
Since there's only two, it just seems like
there's two.
Yeah.
That's what I thought, too.
Yeah.
I'm like, they got to be
You
pricey.
just think supply and demand,
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. So, I mean, that night, I watched, the sun go down over the lake, because why not? It's fucking awesome.
Right, got all the pictures. Right.
I did. and then we piled the kids in the car, and we went to the dark park. And we got there, it was 9:30.
Yeah.
And it was still so bright, you could just see the moon, and because I have a cool app, Dark Sky.
Yeah.
You pull it up, it shows all the constellations and stuff.
Right.
So you could see the moon, Venus, Jupiter. That's all you could see.
Right.
And the sun was still bright. So we're like, all right.
So
and
it's
starting to
cool,
get cold.
but it's not. Yeah.
Once again, totally unprepared for this kind of thing.
Right. That sounds pretty accurate. That's about the way. It's about the way I vacation too.
So we went and we just sat in the car. Well, let's wait for it to get dark.
Yeah.
We sat in the car for an hour. Got out, and it was still so light you couldn't see very much.
Oh, that's so disappointing.
Isn't it?
I mean, I'm sure it was still cool. It was just not.
It was.
Yeah.
Except for one thing. Fucking people don't know what the hell's going on.
Well, yeah.
Because we actually got a decent, because we were there so early, we got a pretty good parking spot. Like, you get out of the car and there's a path. We walked down a path. You're at the beach. There's the dark park.
Okay.
When we got there's already people set up. Like, telescopes are ready to go.
Yeah.
This is like when it was still light out, right?
Right.
So an hour passes. There's so many people churning around behind us because they're trying to find parking. And so many people just, caravanning behind us. When I was finally like, okay, I'm going to go see how dark it is. I'll be back, guys. I get out, and the first thing I see is a crowd of 4 people, and they all have super bright LED flashlight headlamps walking at me. It's like, what are you?
Why are you?
And they kept them on the whole time, all the way down to the beach.
Is it that dark that you need them?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so.
Then there's people on the beach with their iPhones taking pictures with the flashes on.
Oh, dude, you see that everywhere. You see that in arenas, which always makes me laugh. It's like, you do know that a flash is only meant for, a couple of feet. Anything more than that, unless it's a bigger flash. And then usually you have umbrellas and whatnot, that pro photographers use and such. It's like, come on, in an arena, outdoors, it doesn't do anything. There's nothing for that light to reflect off of.
And I was like, let your eyes adjust to the dark.
Ding.
And you'll be fine.
Right. It's amazing. Human eyes actually do adjust to the dark really well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And especially
keep your shitty flashlights at home.
Right. And the point
Turn off your flash, bitch.
The point of that park is that there isn't that
there's no light.
Yeah, there's no light. What's it called?
Ambient light.
Yeah. I was
to interfere with the star watching.
Exactly. It's like all you want to do is be able to see what's in the sky. If you need all the other, I get wanting to take pictures of them, of the sky.
Well,
and stuff,
I was taking pictures. I turned my screen brightness all the way down.
You didn't even have to tell us that. We already.
Well, yeah, that's true. But dude, I turned my screen brightness all the way down.
Mm-hmm.
I made sure my flash was off. And I took some pictures, and I was surprised the next day when I looked at them that I actually captured some stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I actually got a picture of that. I didn't think, because I couldn't really tell what I was doing.
Well, yeah, exactly. Plus, and anytime you're trying to do, you're essentially doing low light photography at that point.
Yeah.
And that's a
with
tough
with
thing to
digital, it doesn't work out real well.
No, even with like if you had like a digital camera there, you'd really probably want to have a tripod to put it on and stuff, so that to really get a good capture. Because you got to leave the aperture open.
Good digital camera, which isn't even that good, because my iPhone takes better.
Yeah.
What's the word I'm looking for? More detailed pictures, better quality pictures.
Yeah.
Than my digital camera, but my digital camera I can set it so the aperture stays open, so I can get
right.
Whatever, you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
Words aren't coming to me right now.
No, you're right. You set I can't think of the terminology, but you're right. You're setting it so the aperture stays open. It lets more light in.
Capture more light.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
That's how you do low light photography.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was trying to do it on my iPhone, and I actually got some stuff, which blew me away.
Yeah. Because usually, I've tried in the past. Now, granted, mine's the Dino 4, but I've tried that in the past and stuff, and you can. So it's more of a crapshoot. It's like using when digital cameras first were coming out, how they had no adjustments. Basically, there was idiot mode, and then they pretended like they had settings, but you actually tinker with them, and you're like, these really don't do much else.
They're just here for show.
Yeah. So, and the iPhones actually have a decent, and I'm sure other phones do too. I just don't have experience with them, but the iPhones actually have decent settings. Like you can monkey with them a little bit, but it's still not the same as if you're really trying to get a really good capture of that stuff. You really want,
like a DSL, whatever the fuck.
You want one that actually has an aperture on it, so that you can, it can stay open and, like you said, let all that light in. And
capture all the goodness.
Yeah.
I was just blown away by the people that had no idea what the fuck they were doing there.
What you do next time is you just take a picture of all the idiots with their LED lights.
Yeah, really.
And be like, these dark parks suck. No stars on yellow.
I did kind of want to just dress up as Bigfoot and go crashing through the woods, because
awesome.
It is so fucking dark.
Right. That'd be pretty awesome.
I mean, it freaked me out actually going into the dark park.
Yeah,
because it's a windy road. There's no light.
Yeah,
it was getting like twilight, and I come around a bend and I just see something corner of my eye and I look, and it's a full size wooden cutout of a little girl. I just went, duh!
Similar to the train incident with us?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. When we're just sitting there and we look over and there's a train sitting on the tracks, but we didn't know it wasn't coming at us.
If it was coming at us, we would have been dead. I mean, there wouldn't have been a prayer for us, but yeah.
But I mean, normally shit like that doesn't freak me out, but I just it was an unexpected little girl in the woods in dark.
Why is it there?
Because there's a plaque by it and it's something. And then you go further on the path, and there's another person. It's like historical people.
Oh, okay.
But it just fucked me up, because the first one I saw was a little girl.
Yeah, right. It's like this sounds like something out of a horror movie.
Right.
Like after the sun goes down.
Nightgown too.
Yeah, the sun goes down and the cardboard cutouts come to life, murder everyone.
It was weird, man.
I'm writing this down. This is a good movie right here.
But so that's another.
And it's even got its own title called Dark Park.
Dark.
Oh my God! This is writing itself.
It is.
All right.
But so that's another thing that when we go back to Marquette, I want to do again, because one, it won't be the summer solstice, and hopefully, since it'll be colder, people won't be there.
You need to get pictures of you next to these cutouts. So
it was freaky, dude.
Yeah. Add something in Photoshop to make the eyes on the cutout glow or something.
Right. But so we wrapped up our Mackinac trip, and we decided to go south again, head to Traverse City, because weird as it sounds, the Jisk and the Risk were also vacationing in Traverse City.
Right.
We both planned our vacation separately, but we're going to be in the same area.
Convenient.
So we decided to stay at the same place, Great Wolf Lodge. Ugh.
Yeah. That's about what I've heard.
Yeah. But in between, upper northern Michigan and Traverse City, we made a couple stops. Mm-hmm. We stopped in this little Michigan town called Petoskey.
Okay.
Dude, awesome town again, right on a harbor. We had a badass breakfast there. They had breweries there. I wanted to go. They had Bearded Brewery. I want to get a growler from it just because.
Right.
But they were closed.
Of
Weird,
course.
because it was too early. So another place I add to our future vacations. Right. Must go here.
You just need to get that map of Michigan with all the breweries on it, and then you just start.
Dude, there's so many.
Just start marking them off.
I did some work. I did some work in the last couple days.
Yeah,
though.
I bet.
Because after we did that, we did lunch at the. We went to Bel Air, Michigan, and went to Shorts, the tap house.
Naturally,
because that's something Jeannie's been wanting to do forever.
Sure,
she loves Shorts.
I was
going
to say, and Shorts has delicious beer, so why wouldn't you stop
certainly
there?
Do.
Yeah.
So we went to the tap house, and the food was amazing.
Out of curiosity,
yeah.
Have you been to a brewery that had food?
Not yet.
That's
Every time
saying.
I've been to a brewery, the food is great.
The tap houses have all had really good food. That I haven't been to anywhere near as many as you have, but the few I've been to have all been really good.
The brewery we stopped at in Wisconsin, Logan was like, "Where are we going?" I'm like, "Oh, we're going to this brewery for lunch." He's like, "Oh, a brewery? They usually have great food."
Yeah, right?
and he's 14.
Yeah.
So.
You're raising an alcoholic.
Maybe.
Alcoholic in training, or in waiting. Sorry, not training. I don't want to make it sound like you're giving him beer now.
Well, it's true.
Except for brats.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Here's his thing now.
Yeah.
We go to a brewery. His first thing he asks, "Do you guys make root beer?"
Sure, why not?
And they usually do.
Yep.
And he has it, and he enjoys it.
Yeah.
And then I usually take a sip and check it in on Untappd because they're usually there.
Wait, you can check in root beer on Untappd?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay. Good to know.
But so we stopped at Shorts because we had to.
Yeah.
And it was only like a half hour off our route, whatever.
Sure.
Another cool little town. The tap house is out. They just expanded.
Yeah.
The bar is great. I would love to go there and just hang out. But, what are you going to do?
Yeah, move.
You got kids.
Oh.
Yeah.
Put the kids in an orphanage, move. There, I solved all the problems.
Had to buy a growler, of
Naturally,
course.
Sure.
I bought a growler when I was in Traverse City to North Peak Brewing. That was awesome.
Right.
Excuse me. Yeah, basically with those Shorts kind of kicked off our whole brewery experience for the rest of our vacation.
Right.
Because once we met up with Josh and Rose, oof.
All downhill from there, huh? Or uphill, I guess, depending on how you want to look at it. Because
yeah, pretty much.
Because good times were had, I'm sure. But yeah.
Oh yeah, we had a blast because we got a growler from Shorts and we texted Josh and Rose and they're like, yeah, get us a growler. So we picked up one for them and they paid us back or whatever. I don't even know if they did. Who cares?
Yeah,
but we got them to get them a growler too. And so we met up at Great Wolf Lodge. We're like, what we're gonna do is we're gonna let the kids swim and stuff, and then we're gonna go out to dinner, and then we'll sit out because we had rooms right next to each other, and they both had we were on the first floor, so they had outdoor patios.
Yeah,
we'll just sit out here and have some cigars or drink some beer, whatever.
Yeah. And
everyone, Rose got hammered.
Huh, that's weird. A member of the group gets hammered.
So our in theory, because Josh and I found this awesome cigar store that the guy was trying so hard to convince us to stay because they just open up a bar that you can smoke in.
Oh, right.
And I'm like, I would love to, but if you look through that window, my son's waiting for us to come outside.
He's like, go put the windows down and.
No, we walked
from
there to our car.
Oh, wow. All right.
I mean, it was a good walk.
Yeah.
So we, end up going back to the room, and I'm like, all right, well, I'll meet you back out here, Josh, and we'll play some games, smoke some cigars, drink some beer. Never saw him. We all just crashed.
Funny.
Yeah.
That'll happen.
Yeah, it'll happen.
Yeah.
But, from Traverse City then, we went from there to, we're going to go to Sand Dunes.
Right.
Silver Lake Sand Dunes. Because it's on the way to Grand Rapids.
Right.
Along the lakeside there.
Yeah. I've heard of that place.
It's awesome. So we were like, all right, we'll go to
Grand
Dunes.
Rapids. Yeah.
Weird. In between, Traverse City and the Sand Dunes, I do a quick search. Breweries. I find the Jamesport Brewing in Ludington, Michigan. Never heard of them.
Never heard of either of those things. The city or the brewery. Yeah.
No, yeah. Same here.
Now, in fairness, there's a lot of cities in any state that a person lives in that you probably never hear of.
Dude, Ludington?
Yeah.
Another cool city. It's way bigger than I thought it was going to be. They have a ferry that you can put your car on. It'll take you to Wisconsin across the lake, which seems bizarre.
Okay, right.
But this Jamesport Brewing, never heard of them. Since we had so many people and they had so many beers, we got 3 flights, and we tried every beer they had.
Wow, that's a lot of beers. Yeah.
Dude,
a lot of these tap houses generally, for those who may not know, a lot of these tap houses we've been to, they have, 8 to 10 beers maybe on tap?
Right.
Of their own. We've been to some that have more, but a lot of them only have, 8 or 10 at a time.
These, I think they had 14, 15.
That's a pretty big number, yeah.
Yeah.
That's especially for the town and stuff. If it was in, say, Grand Rapids, I'd be like, well, it makes sense. It's like Beer City, USA, right?
Dude, this place, every beer was amazing.
Huh.
I mean, I bought a growler from them. Every beer was good, and I only bought the glass, to be fair, because I already had 2 full growlers in my car.
That's fine.
Actually, in Josh's car in his cooler.
That's fine. 2 more, 1 for everybody.
Dude, but I love the place so much. I'm like, I got to get growler from this place. Mm. And the growler's badass, and all their beer was good. The food was amazing.
Yeah, well, shocking.
It's another place that I would love to go back to.
Right.
I mean, it was killer. But we go to these sand dunes. Let me fast forward a little bit here. State Park sand dunes. I so missed my Jeep because they had off-road trails.
Yeah.
And it was just everywhere I drove, there's just people flying around in 4x4s. I'm like, God damn it, I wish I had my Jeep with me.
Didn't take the van out there?
No, believe it or not. Huh. But they have a pedestrian area where you can just climb the dunes.
Yeah.
And we're like, all right, so we take these stairs up, and you just, it's probably 50 feet in the air, these stairs, these different platforms you get, and then you get to the dune. It's another probably 100 feet. It's maybe like a 60-degree angle of just sand.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it was a brutal climb.
Yeah, it sounds like it would be.
But and we only saw a small part of these dunes. It looked like we were in the Sahara when you get to the top of this hill. It was crazy.
Right? You're expecting like giant worms to come out of the ground.
Basically, it looked like Dune.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, or the backdoor Beetlejuice.
Nice.
Yeah, it was wild. I've been to dunes before, but the last time I was like a little kid.
Yeah.
It kind of blew my mind. Oh, weird, got pictures.
Yeah.
But we were just like flying up and like climbing the hills and running down with the kid. It was insane.
Yeah.
I had complete noodle legs going on.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, well, that's why you see like a lot of athletes will run on sand for that reason. Like, because it's such a brutal run. Yeah. That's why I remember LaDainian Tomlinson saying that he put up like the sand hill in his backyard because I think it was Walter Payton or Jerry Rice, one of the two, had a sand hill that they used to go and run up and down every day, basically. And it was, to build your legs, obviously, and such.
Oh, I can see it because it was. I mean, it gassed me out. I would like try to run up the hill after to get to the top, and I'd get about halfway and start gassing big time.
Right.
But they were so huge, it was crazy. There's people like flying around trying to like on sand sleds, and you look over here, and there's all these dudes on, giant trucks flying over the dunes. I'm like, God damn it! And it's right on the edge of Lake Michigan, and it's got its own lake with a bunch of cottages. I'm like, this would be the place to own a cottage.
That'd be really
because you could go play in the water, and they can go hop and play on the dunes.
Yeah.
I mean, how great would that be?
That would
so
be pretty
weird.
awesome.
We looked up prices, $2.8 million.
Ooh.
For a cottage that looked like a dump.
Oh, I'm sure. Of course. Oh, man.
Yeah. Crazy though. I mean, I've never. Yeah. It was fun.
Right.
I mean, I have to admit it was fun. But we left the dunes, got to Grand Rapids, Beer City, Michigan,
right?
USA, really.
Right.
And the first thing I noticed because we stayed at the Holiday Inn downtown was all the Holiday Inn rooms have Founders bottle openers screwed into the wall.
I saw the picture of that in your Instagram. I was like, that's appropriate.
That blew me away.
Yeah. That's good branding right there.
It's great branding.
Yeah.
But from where we stayed, because we stayed when we were there at the Hampton, and we had to catch an Uber into town.
Yeah.
We were within walking distance of everything.
That's the way to do it for sure.
It was a little more expensive, but it was the only thing we could. Actually,
it's worth it though. Yeah,
it is worth it. Yeah. But it was the only thing we could find, and it was downtown, and it was way cheaper than the other ones. We're like, this is weird. It's because all the roads around there are tore up. We had to go on some crazy route to find a parking lot.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But this is where it all kicked in. Like, this is where we got silly.
Yeah, well, I don't doubt it.
Because I'm like, hey, Jisk, hey, Risk, if you guys aren't opposed, Logan's 14, I'm sure you can watch your kids. If you guys need it, because they've spent all week with their kids, right?
Right.
If you guys need a night out, and we can all go out together.
Right.
So they mulled it over. We left the phone with Logan.
Yeah.
And we went out. And boy, did Josh and I put some beers
as is tradition.
Yeah, he turned from Joss to the Jisk.
Well, I hear that'll happen. Did you go to Raccoon or?
No, I got real close.
Okay.
I had enough that the next morning I'm like, ugh. But I'll get to that. So first we went to the Bob, which is the big old building.
Oh,
and it's a brewery.
That's not what I thought. When you said the Bob, I had flashbacks of Bob Evans.
Or a big old building, not brewery. No, not that Bob.
All right.
So we walk in, and the first thing, because it's Friday, so the Bob it's 4 levels high, and then they have a basement. So it's basically 5 bars.
Okay.
Each level's a bar, right?
Yep.
We walk in, the very top is a nightclub. $5 cover charge. Dudes only. Women got in free.
Okay.
So we had to pay $5, and Josh was like, "Really? I'm paying $5 to drink beer?" That's he was kind of bent out of shape about it, which is fine.
I understand
because it is annoying.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
But we went to the basement bar, and there was like no one down there. There was peanuts and popcorn. All their beer was great. We didn't really explore too much of the place because it's some shitty live act on the first floor in a steakhouse. We got ignored at the bar there.
Sweet. Yeah.
And we didn't go any further up.
Okay.
But the Bob was all right. $5 entry. Yeah, the beer was good, though.
There used to be a place downtown that had that, wasn't there? Like in Toledo? They had like 3 different clubs or 4 in it. And
I think so. Each level was a different club or
like
whatever.
One was like house music. One was just like a normal club. One was like a rock club.
That's kind of what this place was like.
Yeah, yeah.
Like when we left, if you look up at the windows of the 5th floor, it's like nothing but lights spinning.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. But so we left the Bob, and we hit Grand Rapids Brewing, our hang.
Right.
That's when I started texting you. Wish you were here, bro.
Where I left my heart and sobriety.
But we, had some beers there. Had fried pickles, which was awesome.
Nice.
Jeannie finally got her beer miso, which she was disappointed by.
Right. I forgot that they were out of that when we were there.
Unfortunately, no one we knew was working.
That's disappointing.
I was kind of hoping to be like, Marcy! And see if she remembered.
I can't remember the dude's name we talked to all day. Thor is his nickname, but I can't remember
his Lauren.
Lauren, there you go.
The only reason I remember is because Gina reminded me. Because I'm like, what was his name? I could picture him, but I couldn't remember his name.
I just remembered Thor because of his mug. It said Thor on it. And he did have a bit of a resemblance to Thor.
He was a big dude with a beard and long hair.
Right. So I was like, I can live with that. And Thor's a lot easier to remember when you're drinking. So
this is true. But every place we went to that night, they checked your ID at the door. It was such a party town.
Yeah.
It's crazy how much of a party town it is.
It's weird, though, too, because when we were there, it was Beer Fest weekend. So it was, like, stupid because of that. And I remember,
it was stupid that night, walking around. I'm like, I can't believe how many people are out on the streets and walking around going to bars.
Right. Well, you have that many good bars and breweries around. Why wouldn't you be?
It's true.
Picture if we lived there. What would we be doing?
Yeah, you're right. That's what Josh and I talked about the next day. Was like, we could go here every night. This is great.
Yeah. I mean, literally, what we would be doing is begging for beer money on the streets. But
this is true
because we'd be like broke from all the drinking.
We did reach out to Jason to see if he wanted to meet it because it was like, hey, last minute we're getting Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
Never saw him, unfortunately.
Fair enough.
Well.
It happens. Yep.
It happens. But so we left Grand Rapids. We tried to go to Hopcat. It was packed.
Does
way
not
too
surprise
busy.
me. It's so funny. Remember, I said that when we were there that Hopcat feels like Hopcat's the seems like the hot bar, kind of a thing. And I honestly don't know that it's the best, but it's the one that it's got the best branding and name recognition probably of the places. Wouldn't surprise me if that place is like always like that. Yeah,
I mean, it was insane.
Yeah,
like we couldn't even get a spot at the bar.
Right. Well, like I said, remember when we went, we almost didn't get in when we went. It was
and it was lunchtime.
Yeah, it was lunch. Yeah, exactly.
So we left Hopcat and we're like, you know what? Let's walk to Founders. It's not that far.
Right.
So I walked to Founders. The place was, it was decent amount of people, but it wasn't like when we went. It wasn't that busy.
Oh, God, it was almost impossible when we went. There was almost, we had to, we stood waiting for seats at the bar.
Well, we got there like probably an hour before they closed. Like there was people sweeping around us when we were still there.
All right.
But what did us in that night was Devil Dancer.
Okay.
It's a triple IPA.
Yeah.
And it's like 13%.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good punch in the beans.
And that was how we ended our night.
Yeah, I guess it's better than starting the night with that. Because you start the night with that, you're not going to have a long night.
It was delicious.
Yeah.
But it was like a punch to the sternum.
How many of those did you pack away?
I think only one, but I was already feeling great.
Well, no, that's what I was meaning is like a lot of times when you get to that beer, it's the end. You know, like you'll have it and be like, woo, because it hits you and you're just on top of everything else and you're like, I'm done.
I remember to walk home, kind of.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Apparently, I just like nose face planted in the bed. It's all a blur.
Right.
One of those things. I woke up the next day feeling like shit.
That's shocking.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Well, you know what set me straight, Brian, the next day?
Huge breakfast?
Huh?
Oh, I said a huge breakfast, but yeah.
Well, it was a huge breakfast with a side of BLT Bloody Mary.
Right. Now, I have to ask you, your picture on Instagram where you have the BLT Bloody Mary on there?
Yes.
There's a plate just to the left of it, and there's like, is that a beer sitting there?
It is.
The plate? Okay, I was just making sure. Look like some toast and a beer.
It's not toast. Let me paint the picture for you.
Okay, all right.
The BLT Bloody Mary. It's your standard Bloody Mary with their own mix, which is good.
Yeah.
And then it's got a tomato slice, a giant lettuce leaf, and bacon in it, right?
Okay.
It comes with a beer chaser because it's kind of spicy.
Okay.
You know,
sure. Yeah, it looked like it was what kind of beer was it? Out of curiosity.
Bud Light.
Bud Light. Okay.
I had to ask.
I knew it was a lager or a light ale of some sort. So okay.
Yeah, it's a Bud Light.
All right.
Now it also comes with 2 slices of toasted bread and mayonnaise.
So you can make your BLT out of the
That's what I
ingredients.
did.
Okay.
I drank my Bloody Mary and I fished out all the ingredients and I made a BLT and ate it, and it was awesome.
Well, I bet because you probably get the spice from the Bloody Mary and the sandwich.
Like, this is the greatest thing ever.
It's pretty smart. I like that idea a lot.
Well, it's like Jeannie got a mimosa and it came with pancakes.
All right.
The restaurant was cool.
Sure, why not?
Was great.
Yeah, right. Nothing wrong with that for sure.
It was this crazy Tex-Mex restaurant. It was awesome.
It sounds like a Tex-Mex.
I'm like, next time we go to Grand Rapids, that's where we're doing breakfast. It was great.
Nice.
Yeah. But, so we did that. We went to the Gerald Ford Presidential Museum because I didn't even know he's from Grand Rapids.
Oh, I did. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not giant on president. Like, Josh is huge into presidential stuff.
I knew that about him. I just didn't really care that much.
It was a cool museum. It was pretty. The kids had a good time.
I've been to a decent amount because there's 3 or whatever in Ohio, and I haven't been to the Gerald Ford one, but I was in another one somewhere. I can't remember where. I don't know. They're all I like history. I'm cool with it, but I'm just like
That was kind of my thing. I was kind of through the whole thing. Like I was like, oh, like they showed here's all some of the random gifts that different countries gave Gerald Ford. I'm like, oh, these are kind of cool. And they've got a replica of the Oval Office in there, which is kind of neat.
Yeah.
But the thing that got me going when I rounded the corner is they had a whole section on military history. Because he was in the Navy, so they had aircraft carriers and stuff. Yeah. And I like military stuff.
Right. I was half expecting you to say you turned the corner and there was the Gerald R. Ford Brewery.
Oh, dude, if there was, that would be the best. That would be the best. But I hate to say it, the highlight of the whole museum for me was one display. And it was this airman's uniform. I can't remember his name. It was like something Hawkins.
Okay.
He was a highly decorated serviceman. Mm-hmm. He flew with 2 squadrons, Brian. One in World War II, one in Korea. Right? Okay. And I got a picture. I didn't post it.
Well, of course. Right.
I have a picture of the dude's insignia.
Yeah.
It's a meat cleaver with wings on it. Right?
Nice.
His squadron in World War II was known as the Flying Meat Axes.
Oh, that's amazing.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, I can see where that would make the day. Yeah.
His squadron he flew with in Korea was Satan's Kittens.
Wow, that's...
I'm like, this guy rules.
That sounds like a weird cover band, but...
But Flying Meat Axes? It's the best.
That also sounds like a band name, but yeah.
I mean...
that's pretty awesome.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Let me see if I guess I can...
I'm much happier with those names. Those are pretty strong.
Here, I don't know if you can... I'm going to put it up to the camera here. I don't know if you can see it.
Yep.
Nice. That was his insignia.
That's pretty awesome.
It's just a meat cleaver with wings on it.
Nice.
I saw that and I was like, what the fuck? And I had to read his card. I was like, oh my God, the Flying Meat Axes. That is my favorite thing ever.
Yeah, that is certainly a strong
right?
name. Yeah, that's really good.
But so besides flooding, we ended our vacation after leaving the Gerald Ford thing at Mitten Brew.
Right.
Which they must be doing great. Because since we went, or day before yesterday when we were there, They've added a patio outside to wrap around the building.
I was wondering about that because I saw like the picture one of you guys posted was, you could tell it was outside. It wasn't inside. Right. So
they put a whole patio up with railings and like plexi. It's really nice. And inside they've got a whole wall. They have a mug club now. The whole place is laid out different. They got a new beer board. I'm like, wow, this place must be doing fine.
I'm not surprised because when we were there,
packed,
you could tell it was a place that looked like it was outgrowing its building, even though they didn't have the upstairs open when we were there. But it was,
right.
It looked like it was like, wow, this place is going to be full up real quick and easy.
Yeah.
And there's no bar. There was like 5 seats at the bar or whatever.
Yeah,
or something.
there's 5 seats at the bar.
You need a bigger bar than that.
20 tables maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, and yeah. Like, that place couldn't hold anywhere near. I mean, like, Founders Place could hold all sorts of people.
Founders is huge.
Yeah, but even Grand Rapids, that place can hold a good clip of people. And, Hopcat's a little limited with the building they have, but they still can pack in a pretty good crowd. It's, but the beers at the Mint were all really good, too. So,
that's, what we
also,
did yesterday.
It's kind of away from everything else, too. It's not, like, right on top of another brewery. It's kind of... I don't know if it's the only game in town, but it was plus pizza flights.
That's what we got. We got on our pizza flights.
Of course you did. Why wouldn't you?
We're there with the risk and the jisk. I'm like, we got to get pizza flights.
Right. And they're like, I don't really trust us pizza flights.
Yeah. I mean, and of course, pizza was killer.
Right. You're like, listen, Thor told us pizza flights.
Right? Yeah, exactly. So that was a fine way to end the Grand Rapids experience again, was lunch at the Mint.
Sounds like a tradition now.
Dude, if I lived in Grand Rapids, I'd probably be about 800 pounds and a drunk.
Yeah.
I mean, the food and the beer is just off the charts.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of the way I felt when I left there, too. But at the same time, I was like, God, I love this place. Like, it just feels...
It's a cool city.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's such a great place. I wish it was a little closer for us.
That's the problem.
Like, I don't want it to be like 20 minutes to where we could go get stupid all the time, but it'd be nice if it was like an hour. Yeah. And be like, okay, we can go up there for, let's leave early and head up there and just, see what happens.
And it was one of those things, too, we discussed, like, we still got quite a drive. Maybe we'll go to Holland and visit Dragon's Meat or New Holland. We'll get some Dragon's Milk.
Right.
Or we'll stop maybe because you drive pretty much right on the outskirts of Lansing. Maybe we'll stop in Lansing. There's breweries there.
Right.
But by that time, I was so drunked out and tired. I'm like, I just gotta get home and sleep in my bed.
Kind of similar to how it was at the end of Beer Fest weekend. We were all just like, it's just time to get home.
It's just time to call it.
After the Mitten, it was like we had our beers there, and remember we didn't even finish all our beers because we were all just like, I think I've had enough beers, basically. Or what we finished was like it. It was just like, I don't want to go anywhere else.
Oh, don't get me wrong. At the Mint, I helped Jeannie kill her flight, and I had 2 pints.
Yeah. Right.
The second pint, I'm like, let me see your beer list. I got to pick whatever's got the lowest ABV. I'm driving.
They're like, well, our lowest one is 8.6. Sweet, give me 2 of those.
I mean, that Bloody Mary set me straight. I was doing good after that.
Right, I bet, yeah.
But, I mean, I was still, I was just beat, though. I was just like, it was just so time to get home.
Well, plus, even though it's not that long of a drive, was it 3.5 hours from Grand Rapids? Something like that?
It's like 2.5, 3 hours-ish, something like that.
It's weird how that drive feels so long. Like, even just from there back, it's like there's not a ton of, like, scenery from there. It's just like there's trees and road.
It's just kind of flat.
It's like if you're driving to Florida once you hit, like, Tennessee.
Yeah, it's not that exciting.
It's just, like, the same thing for, like, 8 hours, and it's just like, oh, God, it's just...
Well, that's what kind of, like, driving through Wisconsin and northern Michigan. Sure. It's like shit I've never seen before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Grand Rapids to here, it's like, I've seen this country so many times.
Exactly, yeah. It's like it's not exciting, it's real boring, and
Yeah.
Plus, it depends on the attitude of everybody else in the car, too, because if everybody else is kind of spent, like that whole energy of everybody being low, it's just kind of like,
Yeah.
Versus...
don't get me wrong, I had a sweet playlist I made up for the trip. I didn't even get through a whole playlist.
Did you call it Sweet Playlist?
I just called it Family Travel Time.
Oh, I'm disappointed. Should have called it Sweet Playlist.
It was a fine mix of like Black Keys and some ZZ Top and throwing a little Kenny Loggins every once in a while, kicking a little Danger Zone.
Naturally.
Yeah, But it was just, oof, that last day was brutal.
Yeah.
That drive home, I mean, it was the old, I'm stopping at Starbucks, I need another.
Yeah.
I need some, because I'm dying.
Well,
I
like
need some caffeine.
that was the way it was. Like I said, when we were coming home, remember you stopped about halfway and you were like, I gotta get some caffeine.
yeah, need a bucks.
Yeah. And I understand. I've been in enough car rides. Like, I don't drive, but I've been in enough car rides like that they're brutal.
I mean, I love a road trip, but those last couple days are usually brutal.
Yeah, that's the worst part, I think, of the road trip is that you have to drive home.
Yeah.
Generally, that's that. Because, it always that, the ride home always feels longer than any other ride.
Although, to be fair, with the road trip we did, because we didn't backtrack. It was over and then around.
Right.
So it wasn't like the drive to Grand Rapids when we went was like, yeah, fucking Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
And on the way back, it's like, oh, here's all these exits.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember this. We're so close.
Yeah. Right.
So I think that helped not backtracking what we already went on.
Yeah, I could see where that would definitely make a difference.
But I mean, it was only like I said, 2.5, 3 hour drive from there to home. And it was way worse than the drive from Chicago to Marquette.
Oh, yeah. Which is weird because you'd think that would be the worst
drive.
That
was a brutal drive,
yeah.
But I was just like blown away by some of the stuff I was seeing.
Right. I think that's why, like, I was comparing it to, like, driving to Florida. I think that's why so many people, if they're driving to Florida, they push to get to, like, Georgia and then stay the night in Georgia and then go on because you've just come off that trip through Tennessee, and which before Tennessee you were in Ohio, so it's a lot of very similar. The upside to driving through
fucking cornfields.
The upside of driving through Ohio, at least, is in that drive you hit like Dayton, Columbus, Cincinnati, kind of. So at least you have cities breaking, like big cities breaking up the stuff. You hit Tennessee, it's pretty much just trees and hills, and it's just straight, and you're like, oh god. So then you hit Georgia, and it's like, I gotta get the fuck out of this car.
Right, exactly.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it was an awesome vacation. I'm glad. I mean, it's been a while since I've taken some time off like that.
Yeah.
From work and everything. It was great.
Yeah, because most of the vacations that you've been doing have been, like the beer fest centric kind of weekend vacations.
Yeah, like a long weekend kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so
like at the end of July.
Yeah.
Yeah, Summer Beer Fest coming at you.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Hell yeah!
I
can't wait.
I didn't forget about that. The tales will tell.
I already got the blueprint drawn out for my pretzel necklace.
I'm just picturing it actually on like blueprint paper with like the white drawing on,
like a Wile E. Coyote layout.
Yeah. Now you see, this is for optimal this, and this will keep sweat off most of the pretzels. And
I forgot one thing I got to mention.
All right.
I had the weirdest dream, and I normally don't remember my dreams.
Right.
But this is so fucking. It was one of those things. I woke up and I fell back asleep. That's all I always remember my shit. This was in Chicago, and I dreamt we were in Chicago. Okay, and I was like walking on the road, and I had this little like I don't know, this little creature, and this little creature just like transformed this big old dragon, like grew. And it picked me. And okay, now you got to picture this like an old video game.
Okay, now first of all, I'm picturing you as Khaleesi, and continue.
Okay. Now you remember how in old 2D side scrollers and like the cinematics, the background would go by.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so the dragon picks me up and we fly off screen.
Right.
And the background's going by, right?
I'm actually picturing this more as Never-Ending Story.
But we're in Chicago still.
All right.
So the background's scrolling by and there's nothing there but the background.
Okay.
And then me and the dragon land.
Falcor,
and now the dragon's a tank. It's a dragon tank.
Nice. Which is
and
the
it hits
best.
the ground. It's like, all the ground like spider webs out and cracks,
That's
right?
the best kind of tank, I gotta say.
Dude, it's badass.
Dragon Tank is the name of this episode.
So I'm in my dragon tank and the background's still scrolling.
Right.
And I'm in the top hatch, and it's just raining money, and I'm just catching it. And that's my dream. It was crazy.
That's a pretty awesome dream, I'm not gonna lie.
Fucking dragon tanks.
I just can't help but picture you on Falcor, though. I'm just picturing that more. I don't know why. I can't stop. I'm just, yeah!
And then it transforms into a tank.
Money raining down. Yeah.
Dude, a furry tank?
Yeah. Oh, man. It'd basically be like the dog van from Dumb and Dumber, but with, a giant cannon on the front.
But a tank.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't know why I had the dragon tank dream, but I woke up and I just put... Oh, wait, no. Fuck. The dragon, you know what happened?
No.
I was... it's coming back to me now.
All right.
I was dreaming that I was dreaming about Chicago.
Whoa, that's some Inception shit right there.
I know, because I just looked at my notes I wrote, and I put Dreamception - Dragon Tank.
I'm just glad you put Dragon Tank, because...
Well, I knew Dragon Tank would be like tie it all together.
Dragon Tank is our new band name, by the way, and or drinking club.
Perfect.
Yeah. We're team Dragon Tank.
A great idea.
What?
We were today. We went up to the Jisk residence because we're like, hey, we should, because they still had our growlers, so we're like, we'll just get together for lunch. We ended up going up there and having lunch and drinking all the growlers, playing games and smoking cigars that we never smoked in Traverse City.
Right. Which
is good. But fuck, what was I talking about? I've been drinking too much. Right? What the hell was I talking about?
You said that you went up to their residence.
Oh my God, I'm retarded here.
Well, I said something about Team Dragon Tank. And
right. Okay, thank you. So we were up there, and the Jisk, Josh, he's like, I really need to put a untapped location in my house. Right?
Yeah. So
I figured out how to do it. We all, it was kind of a group effort. You have to log on to Foursquare. It's super annoying.
Right.
But up there they have the J&R Consumery.
Okay.
I put it right at the edge of their neighborhood so people don't know where their house is at.
That's fair, yeah.
So I was just trying to think of what I should put for my house in the area.
Right.
It might be Dragon Tank.
I like this idea. Although
checking at the Dragon Tank.
I still prefer checking in across the street as my location.
The church?
Yep. I've checked in at that church at least 4 times. So.
Well, I can make something in the parking lot. Just call it like Diddler's Paradise.
Whoa! Are you talking your parking lot or no? Where the trees kind of cover everything.
Right, those weird trees.
The dark park, if you will.
Oh boy, is it dark! Blacking out them memories.
Yeah. Sure. Fair enough.
Hey, moral of the story, Northern Michigan's pretty awesome. Michigan in general, I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
It's a great state. I'm glad I live here.
It actually is, yeah.
And you know what else blew my mind?
Something that might be mind-boggling? I don't know.
Oh, fuck. My thing turned off.
Of course it did.
I can't find it.
Because it's mind-boggling to you, yeah.
There it is.
We had to make sure there was a macho drop in there.
But
damn you.
So we're telling Leah, we're like, well, we're in Michigan, but we're in the Upper Peninsula.
Right.
Right? And she's like, oh. And she's like, so Canada? Do we live in the Lower Peninsula? We're like, no, we live in just Michigan.
Yeah.
And then we started thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck.
Because it is
kind
of
funny. We do live
funny.
in the Lower Peninsula.
Yeah.
God damn it. Mind blown. I never thought about it like that before. Because it's always Michigan and the Upper Peninsula.
Right. Well, usually people refer to it as like the Mitten and the UP.
And the Upper Peninsula.
Yeah, exactly. So
it never occurred to me that it's a peninsula too.
Right. Otherwise, it wouldn't be called the Northern, the Upper Peninsula. It's
exactly.
Kind of silly to, it's like there's no Virginia, but there's West Virginia,
Right. I just love it took a 10-year-old to bring that about.
You know
for
what?
Me.
From watching that TV show Brain Games, Brain Games, I believe it's called. It's amazing how many times they put things like logic things to children that are like 5. And they're just like, oh, yeah, it's this. They hand it to, like, adults that are in, like, 20 to 30 range, and they're like, dang yeah. And it's because we're so locked into our way of thinking, basically. And kids, the world is still, like, open thought process, So it's interesting how many times children just, like, dust adults on that show.
I believe it.
Yeah. It isn't that they're any smarter. It's just when they think of things, there's no box. It's everything.
Because Jeannie and I were both like, no, we live in the state of Michigan, and I was like, wait,
Yeah, actually, we do. Yep. Because it's usually referred to as like either like blah blah blah. Where are you from? Oh, I'm in the the mitten. I'm near the thumb, or I'm the like that's how so many people.
How many times I put my hand up to show people where I live?
Exactly.
You know.
Yep. That's what I tell people is I'm like I'm down by
I'm here.
Yeah, I'm down by the Velcro strap on the glove.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
Yes, sir. He certainly is. Dragon Tank.
Yeah, it was awesome. I'm looking forward to going back to various places of Michigan and exploring more.
Yeah, that seems like a strong idea.
Plus breweries everywhere.
Yeah, really.
Everywhere you go, there's a brewery.
I was just going to say you almost can't go somewhere that there isn't one or isn't one close.
I mean, that's what blew my mind in Marquette when I'm like, I want to go to these two breweries, and they're both, like I said, both closed.
I would guess that the upper peninsula, you could probably go places and not find breweries because that place is just so like sparse in areas. But
I went looking, the very most northern tip of the upper peninsula.
Yeah,
there's a brewery there.
Right.
I want to go there.
Naturally, it's
like that little tiny tip that goes into the lake.
Right. It's just tickling Canada, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, motherfucker, there's a brewery up there.
Like, I have to go to that.
I need to go.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, it was cool, though. Mm-hmm. It was very cool.
Oh, man. Big weekend. Dragon Tank Dream. Your daughter bought an American doll, or American Girl doll that was crazy.
Way too much.
All the beer was drank.
That was actually the one downside about Chicago is I didn't get to go to any of the bars I really like.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I got my kids. What are you going to do?
Yeah, take them. Tell Logan to hurry up and, get old enough to drive.
Yeah, really. No shit.
Daddy needs you to drive.
Honestly, it was one of those things that we've done it before. Like, hey, you guys just hang out here. We're going to go out. But can't do that every night.
Yeah, probably not the best. Especially not when you're hitting the road the next day.
Yeah.
Different if you were staying in Chicago all weekend or something, and be like, we can go hit the town.
That's why we did it the one night, you know, in Grand Rapids. We're like, all right, we got to go out.
Right.
Because, plus, Josh wanted to take the pilgrimage to Founders because he loves Founders. He's never been there.
Really? Huh.
Yeah.
Well,
he wanted
yeah.
It's like Holy Land.
Right. Well, no, because I was going to say, he did, and then I was like, I forgot they couldn't go to Winter Beer Fest. So,
right. Everybody was sick.
Yeah, so because I was like because I was thinking he went with us at first for some reason. I was like,
in the first year we went to Winter Beer Fest, we didn't really do any brewery touring.
Yeah.
Oh man,
good time.
I feel like I'm dying over you.
You're fine. Speaking of dying, no, it's not. Like just transition time, I guess.
Transitions
because we didn't handle business at the beginning of the program.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I kind of steer-wrangled the show.
No, it's fine. Neither one of us directed it towards this. So go get your Dragon Tank t-shirts. And
sick.
Yeah, Team Dragon Tank. I'm telling you, it's too bad we don't play Magic anymore because that would totally be our
Team Dragon Tank.
Team Dragon Tank, yeah.
No flying meat axes?
That's a tough one. Yeah, you're right. Maybe flying meat axes is where it's at. Presented by Dragon Tank.
Nice.
Yes. You thought Shark Tank was good. Now Dragon Tank.
Dragon Tank.
Just a bunch of crusty old dinosaurs. Like when people, it's the same show as Shark Tank. It's just really, really old business people that people are pitching these things to. Like Methuselah himself is sitting there.
I was thinking those people in the dinosaur suits from the show Dinosaurs.
Oh, God.
People are pitching products to them.
That's the worst idea you've ever had. All right.
Probably.
Anyway, speaking of bad ideas, you should head over to teespring.com/saltylanguagepod and grab one of the T-shirts. Because as this goes up on Monday, there'll be, about a week left?
About a week left to order your shirts. We should be printing them because I'm fucking getting one. God, I just haven't yet because I've been away. Damn it.
Have you? You should tell us about it.
So, Brian, we want to
Dragon Tank. That's all you need to know. Dragon Tank.
Dragon Tank.
Dragon Tank. Is Dragon Tank one word or two? You think?
Probably two.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. All right.
Yeah.
So, anyway, Salty Language, or teespring.com/saltylanguagepod. to find one of the T-shirts for the website. Help us out. Ooh,
Right.
It came in really, really low.
Well, la-di-da.
Shut up and take my money.
There it is.
There you go.
Ooh.
How's that?
Yeah. Help us out. Yeah, we only need a couple more sold to get them made, so everybody orders one, they'll get one, and, then we can...
Expect more shirts in the future.
like Team Dragon Tank.
Team Dragon Tank.
We need a graphic for Team Dragon Tank, though. We can't just put text on a shirt for that.
No.
You know what we need is we need to design the shirt up for Team Dragon Tank like it's something that one of the like UFC guys would wear coming to the octagon.
Like an affliction type shirt?
Something like that. Just obnoxious because Dragon Tank, you know?
Wait, I got a sick idea for a game.
Okay.
Double Dragon Tank.
So we're both in Dragon Tanks and you're just fighting oh, that's awesome. I'm in.
Just destroying everything.
I'm in. That's the best idea ever. Maybe. Man. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot else to talk about here. I have one thing. Have you watched the show Happy-ish on Showtime?
I don't... Wait. Maybe Jeannie has. I've heard about it.
I was going to say, if you haven't, you should check it out. It's
Happy-ish.
Happy-ish. Yep. It's a really interesting show. Kind of the premise of it is, two middle-aged people are just kind of coasting through their miserable existence kind of a thing. But
right.
they're trying to be happy-ish, basically.
Well, they should start dreaming about dragons.
Right. Right? I'm happy just thinking about it right now.
And tipping back delicious founder beers.
Pharrell's rewriting.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Right? Pharrell's rewriting that song because of, of Dragon Tanks. It got recommended to me by somebody, and I watched like the first couple. And it's one of those shows. It's half an hour, 20-some minute episodes, and I just powered through it. I actually think the season finale. Actually, I think it's tonight. We're recording on a Sunday. I think the season finale is tonight. There's only like 10 episodes, so it's not like it's something's going to take forever to get through either. But there's just some like the guy kind of has. These, like, at one point, these guys come in, and they're younger guys in the advertising firm he works for, and they want to change the Keebler marketing and not use the old elves anymore. They want to use real people in the commercials now. And, like, the guy keeps having these, like, hallucinations, basically, of Ernie and the guys driving up in cars. Like they've gotten a sweet buyout deal. They come rolling up, and, like, the old lady that's in the Keebler commercials got like big fake tits, and so, like, it's just there's just some ridiculous stuff in it. So
who's on the show? Anyone? Any stars, quote unquote.
Steve Coogan is the main star on the show. I think I read that Philip Seymour Hoffman originally was supposed to be the star of it, like that it was being written like for him, but obviously dead. So
one dirt nap later.
Damn. That's cold, man. That's cold. Hold on, I'm looking it up on the IMDb's. Why is this not... Oh, because I can't spell.
You'll have that.
I haven't had enough beer. It's got Catherine Hahn... What was that?
Fucking ain't right.
Oh, all right.
I think my board's all jacked up.
It might be. Yeah, there's not... Like, there's a lot of people... Like I've seen in other things, like Ellen Barkin is the biggest name on the show, and she's been around forever. But she's in a lot of the episodes, but she's not like a star of it. She's like a headhunter friend of Steve Coogan's, and Catherine Hahn plays his wife. Which, God, she's been in a bunch of shows. I'm trying to think of
the name. Sounds familiar.
She was on Parks and Rec. She plays the campaign advisor. That's like. Really, like, just right to the point and kind of whatever.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I can't think of the, but she's been on, I'm looking at just, like, the stuff she's been on. She's been on a ton of stuff. A lot of times she's on a few episodes or, what have you. But she's been in a bunch of stuff. Like, you'll probably recognize her as soon as you see her. But, yeah, it's just a show I just watched and was like, man, the only thing I don't like about the show is the kid, because the kid's a whiny little brat. But
what a dick.
Yeah. But, it's kind of on purpose, so whatever.
Whatevs.
Yeah. So there was that. I just figured I'd recommend that. And it's got some great stuff. There's some really good wisdom in the show, even though the overwhelming feel of the show is really like a really jaded look at the world, basically. Like,
right.
The main characters are both really jaded. So, whatever. Yeah.
I'll have to check it out, because
Yeah,
we got that Showtime access.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Whatnot.
And like I said, it's only, it's only 10 episodes or whatever.
Right.
So, did you watch the True Detective premiere?
No, I didn't even know it came out.
Yeah,
I was so off the grid, dog.
Episode 2 should be up now. So.
I'll have to watch it then.
All right, we'll have to talk about it.
Did you watch it?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, was it good?
There's a lot of mustaches.
Dude, I bought Mustache Wax.
There's it's weird. It's real. It's different than last year's. Obviously, it's nowhere near the same kind of thing. It's like seems like there's like 3 main characters that all kind of come together over a murder, basically.
Right.
And then
isn't Vince Vaughn in it?
Yeah. He's not
even trying to figure out his jacked up hand.
No.
Oh, okay.
Actually, he's not even one of the 3. He's a main character, but he's not one. There's like 3 main police officers.
Right.
In this one, and Vince Vaughn. Those seem to be the stars of the show. So, and this murder has some sort of thing going for it. I'll give you one spoiler to look forward to is Colin Farrell beating the shit out of somebody with brass knuckles right in front of
that's fun.
In front of the guy's kid. So
well, fuck that kid.
So clearly, it's a lighthearted show.
It sounds like it.
Yeah, fun for the family. If you will.
Gather the family around, play some Parcheesi.
Exactly, and then
watch True Detective.
Then watch Colin Farrell beat the bloody hell out of a guy.
Exactly.
With knucks on. So it was an interesting. Like it's one of those. You know how it was like watching last year. It was like you get to the end of the first episode and you're like, what the fuck is going on? But you kind of want to watch the next episode to see.
Right.
It's going to be. I think.
Well, something's got to fill my Game of Thrones gap. So
exactly. Dragon Tank.
Fuck yeah.
You're just sitting around daydreaming about Dragon Tank all the time.
It just seems like Dragon Tank should be like a speed metal group.
I know, right? It's got to be something. So, yeah, I think that's about all I got. I didn't really have a whole lot. I have like some various other shit, but I don't really feel like talking about it. Except for one thing. I have one thing other that I forgot.
Yeah, all right. What you got?
Southern Bastards got optioned by Fox.
Really?
The comic? Yeah.
I haven't read it yet.
And
I know I'm
such
a dick.
a good book. Such a good book. Yeah.
I've been catching up on books, though.
Excellent.
Yes.
Are you caught up?
I should be ready to discuss some next week.
All right. Excellent.
I'm not quite current, but I'm getting there.
Fair enough. I got to update the blog, actually. I keep forgetting to do that. I was going to say I've kept the blog up to date with, stuff I've read. But yeah, I thought it was really cool that that show got optioned because that show is going to probably make for book will probably make for a really good TV show. It seems like a good translation. So, although there's a lot of hate towards the rebel flag, so I don't know how they're going to handle that. But
knows.
Yeah. Whatever.
All the rage these days, right?
Right. But instead of reporting on
do
rage,
it again. Woo. Something.
Yeah. And we didn't even talk about the biggest news of the week, which was, the Supreme Court saying, hey, it's cool for gay people to get married.
That's true.
Which, good. About fucking time. Although I read something today that the district attorney of Texas is telling employees that it's legal for them to not issue marriage certificates to gay couples. Way to go, Texas. Way to go.
Yeah. Why can't people just be happy?
Way to find the hate just a couple days after.
All I have to do is take this guy from Texas, take him to Founders, get some devil dancer in him.
Put him in the Dragon Tank.
Take him for a spin in the Dragon Tank.
And how could you be upset at anyone after spinning the Dragon Tank? And with the beer you just named, I forgot already.
Devil Dancer.
Devil Dancer.
So good. It'll fuck you up.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Ooh.
Dude, I danced with the devil.
In the pale moonlight?
Yeah. The devil fucked me up.
He'll do that. He'll do that. You're like, oh, this back rub feels now. Hey, what are you doing?
Like, oh, good God, that's my butt. Get out of here, devil.
Too late, I'm already in.
Oh, geez.
Oh, well, hurry up. Kind of twist that old joke about the dog humping someone's leg, you know?
Right.
Stop it. Hurry up. So, yeah.
Are you calling the devil a two-pump chump?
Maybe I am. Boy, that'd be embarrassing, wouldn't it?
Yeah, really. I am the Lord of Hell. Oh, I'm done. I'm sorry. That never usually happens.
Like, wait, aren't you the Lord of Lies or Prince of Lies? Shut up! the greatest.
I just had a seizure.
Right.
Just give me a moment.
The greatest trick the devil ever played was convincing you he was good in bed.
Hilarious.
Oh, man. You know, I kind of feel like this is totally just rambling back and forth here, but I feel like we need one of those like sound drops for Dragon Tank. It's like Dragon Tank, Dragon Tank, or something like that.
Right.
Just because I want to reference it more and more.
Maybe like Dragon Tank and an explosion or something.
You know what it's going to be is, next to Hobo Gulch in Salty Language Land, there'd be Dragon Tank will be like an amusement ride. You know, so everyone can kind of understand a little bit of what it's like. It's not a real Dragon Tank, but, you know, that way.
Maybe it's like SeaWorld and everyone can go see the dragon swim in the Dragon Tank.
Listen, I've watched Jurassic Park. I don't think this ends well for people.
It's true. I've watched Blackfish. It's no good.
What are you
don't
talking
treat
about?
Dragons like that.
Listen, SeaWorld puts out commercials now that says that they're nice and everything to all the animals there. So,
oh,
the
yeah.
Mammals. So clearly.
They give them big old orca handies. I guess I'll cheer you up, buddy.
You know, given how giant a whale's dick is, that would be the weirdest thing. It would be like a train of people just to do the handy.
It's true.
Which would be really kind of weird. Can you picture trying to get that many people to work together?
Come on, people, teamwork.
Stroke. It'd be like the weirdest rowing team practice ever.
That would be weird.
Well,
we went to corporate camp and we did some team building exercises. Well, what'd you do? We jerked off an orca.
There was like 30 of us. It was the weirdest thing.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Bill still can't see.
Bill was too close to the tip, you know.
Yeah, just looking in it.
Oh, man.
Never look down the barrel, son.
Right? Meanwhile, Bill goes into the doctor. They think he has a tumor. Turns out his head's pregnant.
Right.
Like, how is this even... Yeah.
It's one grizzled SeaWorld guy. It's like Quint from Jaws.
All right. I almost shut. Or lost.
You never look down the whale's dick. That's one eye, like a doll's eye.
I'll tell you, if you take away anything from this show, like knowledge to pass on to others, it's that right there. Don't look down the barrel of a gun, you know. All right. You got anything else?
Oh, that was pretty much my week.
Right. Yeah. Fair enough. I mean, you know, if you want to see pictures, you can go check them out on the Instagram. Although
the Monotony.
It's got to be the Monotony, because
yeah, it's great. The
you gotta rock it like the Dan Lawler does. You know,
it's true. The Monotony
right.
on Instagram,
exactly.
Because someone has monotony and they don't post anything, and they should probably have an ice pick put in their head.
They will not get to ride in Dragon Tank, that's for sure.
No. They'll be under the Dragon Tank.
Right. Naturally. It'll be like Tiananmen Square.
Boy, will it.
That's awful. That's terrible, Brian. Why would you say that?
Because it's salty language.
Right. Speaking of salty language, go to saltylanguage.com. You can find all the past shows, videos, links, random other shenanigans. The Amazon link, so if you're doing any shopping on Amazon, you know, go to that first, click on the Amazon button, and then shop away. You can sign up on there to be a Patreon subscriber. You know, toss us a few shekels a month and get on the Wall of Enthusiasts. Let's see. Tony's got a nice convenient link up there for our interviews. So
Indeed.
Go listen to all those, like our most current one with Kyle Duncan Graham of the Rock and Roll Cheeseburger Happy Time Fun Hour.
Can I interject real quick?
Yes, of course you can. Dragon tank.
Dragon tank.
Yeah.
You know how satisfying it is, Brian, when I'm driving home from this said vacation,
Right.
and my wife is next to me.
Was out of curiosity, was Holiday Road on your playlist at all?
I don't think so.
I'm disappointed in you, sir. Anyway.
I have to look. It was quite the extensive
Little
playlist.
Lindsey Buckingham? No? All right.
So we're driving home, and Jeannie's like, well, I know you don't want to listen to you, so I'm going to put in my headphones. And she was listening to that episode.
Okay.
And just laughing the whole time.
Which episode?
The Kyle Duncan Graham.
Oh, okay.
Because she knows I don't want to hear me.
You're right, yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay, fair
So
enough.
it's very satisfying to
Right.
hear just constant laughter the whole time she's listening.
She was listening to the voice of God and David Cross interview Kyle Duncan Graham, as he put it. That was a fun interview. So yeah, check that one out.
That was a lot of fun.
Or there's a whole bunch of them. We've had a lot of fun with a lot of them. So well, all of them, I think.
Yeah, every one I've had a blast.
Yeah. So go check those out, the enthusiasts, if you will. And other than that, you can find us on the Twitter machine at @salty_language. I'm at Stunami.
I'm at Monotony or the Monotony on Instagram.
Right.
I haven't Twittered anything in a while, to be honest.
Yeah, you have. You Twittered a whole bunch of I just earned this on Untapped.
Yeah, well, that's my Untapped app.
Or I just posted this picture on Instagram.
That's true. That I actively cross promote.
Right.
Untapped just goes, I'm going to let everyone know you like drinking.
Yeah.
I'm like, thanks, buddy.
I know, right? It's so good at that, Oh, man. So, go check us out there and, hit us up. If anyone listening, if you'd like us to, come on your podcast or you'd like to be on The Enthusiast, hit us up and let us know. You can email us if you'd like at saltylanguage@gmail.com. And with that, I think it's have beer, you'll be fine.
Stay salty.
And Dragon Tank!
I've been having beer since like 4 or something.
Nah, you just need some more.
I just need a Copad.
This is a Danger Entertainment podcast. DangerEntertainment.net. Danger Entertainment Podcast Network.
You are now leading the world of Musings of a Geek Podcast Network. Stay geeky, my friends.